Welcome back to another MattHumanPizza video. This time we're going to be removing and installing the rear brake pads. So let's get to it. Let's do it. First thing you need is your new brakes and shims. Yeah, they smell like fish, fresh out of the package. They're ceramic. That's why we're going to leave those brakes over there, because they smell like fish. Anyway, since we're in the grass here, we're going to need to get a hard surface down there for the jack. And we're going to need to jack it up. So let's get to it. Let's do it. Get ready for some brake cleaner. Block up the opposite tire. Get your four-way ready and get that tire off. Let's get to it. Pull your emergency brake up. Okay, remove your tire. And there we go. Okay, you're going to want to remove a little bit of brake fluid, because when you push the piston, whenever you're getting the brake piston off the caliper or off the pad, anyway, the piston pushes the pad onto the caliper or the wheel, whatever. Anyway, just do this. Remove a little bit, and then there we go. That should be good. Oh wow, that splashed. Okay, position a pan underneath and give it a good brake cleaning spray. Because you don't want to inhale that brake dust, and it cleans it off too. Look how it is. That's awesome how it dries up by itself. Just the fact that all the chemicals in the cleaner do that. Okay, next you're going to want to remove the caliper lower mounting bolt back there. And it's a 14 millimeter, and you may need an additional wrench to do this. So you might want to put a wrench. Oh, this back was 14, but this bolt right here is a larger. So I want to go get the appropriate wrench for that. As with any wrench, don't just grab one, grab the whole roll. So you don't have to make a bunch of trips. So I believe this is 15. So let's try it. Nope, it's bigger than that. 18. It's already loose, or oh, it's 18. So 18 fits on there. So I was a couple millimeters off. Okay, there's the lower mounting bolt. Alright, you're going to want to lube that up. I'll show you later. Okay, you may need a C-clamp, a big old C-clamp, to press in the piston in order to get this off. But what I've discovered for this is a 2008, is that I can just pull it up and off, and then you're going to use a wire to hold that up. Okay, so I got my trusty wire here. So just shove it through there and then find a way to hold it up. But what I'm going to do is just hold it here as I install it, because, well, you don't want to put a kink on the brake hose behind. This brake hose back here, you don't want to put too much of a kink on it. So you're going to kind of keep this straight up in the air. I'm just going to hold it as I maneuver my hand inside the brake. Okay, study how the brakes, and if it has shims, how they're positioned in there, so you can get them back in the right way to take pictures or record or whatever. And okay, that lower mounting bolt, apply a thread locking compound to it, get it all cleaned up. And okay, the wire hanger didn't really work for me, so I'm just using the socket set to hold up to hold that up. But first you want to take off the outer brake pad, and then, my bad, take off the inner and then the outer. Okay, let's take off the inner pad. There's a little clip that it clips onto. Quite. Okay, I actually had to take the outer pad off first because it just needed a little convincing. So there's the pad, there's a shim, and this is requiring a little bit more brake power, brake cleaning power. And on the new one, the new brake, I noticed on the back end, you got this little thing that sticks out. Yeah, hold on, let me get in the camera. Yeah, there we go. That little thing that sticks out. It faces on the. This is the inner pad, so it faces out that way. It's back here. So just for that one faces outward. This one didn't even have one. So that's that part off, and as you can see, the shim's a little. It's coming off a little bit. You don't want to damage this. Now I'm hitting the old pad itself and nothing else, barely. So that was really on there. Now remember how this all goes together. See, you got these little notches right here and up there, and those notches, this shim. And before I took all this off, there was this last F piece that went on the back, went on like that. Hold on, I gotta blow up insect off my shoulder. Damn it. Alright, I got the insect off my shoulder. Animals everywhere, I tell you. So, and then that car drove off. The neighbors, they're animals too. Anyway, so here's the shim. So, just remember how it went on. So as that little groove right there went over this groove right here. So now you're going to want to lubricate inside this lower mounting bolt and use a wire brush on a little bit, and just check this out. Make sure it's all good. Check the back out. Check out your wheel. Make sure it's all good. And now it's time for the next. Make sure the new with the shim, new pad with the shims matches up with the old pad with the shims. Just before you put it on and everything, make sure all the parts are all right. So that's that. Okay, so there's both the new pads, and then there's the old pads. You can definitely see a difference in the thickness. And here's the old. That part right there was over there for the old one, but I don't got a new piece for it, so it's going to clamp it all together. So that's how that's going to go on there. And yep, so make sure it all matches up. And now it's time for the next. Okay, you're going to want to clean the bracket to pad mating surface with a wire brush. And then after you get done, oh my goodness, an animal, look, an animal. After you get done cleaning those surfaces or whatever, use a soft pad or cloth and clean that off. I'm just showing this for illustrative purposes. Alright. Okay, you're going to put the outer pad on first and then the inner. And then after you get those on, push in your piston. Push it in that way with the C-clamp. If you have to. I might not have to, but yeah, I will have to because it's going to be thicker. So when you push that in, make sure your reservoir, your brake reservoir, has enough clearance upward so you don't get brake fluid all over the engine compartment. So, okay, the first thing I did was I put the bracket on. I pushed it on there, and it makes a ting. It makes a ting sound. So you push it over top of here, and if you need to hit it with something, but that's on, and the back side. There we go. Now that part's alright. With the brake pads, make sure they all match up with your two sets. So the old model, this part was sticking out the back here, and this one doesn't have one of these things sticking out. So put your inner one on, and it's gonna be a tight fit. So, it's not, that one's not a tight fit because it's the proper one. And then you want to put the other one on. Bugs are getting me. It's going to be a little harder to get on. And gently tap it with a rubber mallet. Alright. Alright, that's what that looks like. So you got the shims, the new pads, and then the other shim. Oh, and then we got to put the this last part on. So there's a little groove right here, and these parts on the bottom slip on the bottom part. So get this in back there. Okay, that clip, it just clips on just like so. Okay, that was a close one. The camera fell and hit the brake pads, and I thought the zoom feature wasn't working, but to fix a lot of stuff you just turn it off and turn it back on. So too bad you can't do that with a vehicle. Just turn it off and turn it back on, the brake's fixed. Anyway, so we got this part on. There's two little clips that go underneath, and this part snaps on top, so it comes off easily, it goes on easily. So these are on there pretty well. That one's okay. The back one's really tight on there, and then this one's, that's how it was. So all right, now it's time to push that piston bore, push it in. So let's do this in real time. Oh, I hit the camera. So get that set up. Let me go check the rest. Okay, so you're going to push your piston in. There we go. Have an assistant watch the level. Make sure it doesn't overflow. Alright. Get this fully pushed in so you can make room for your pads. Is it raising?
No.
Oh, that's good. It's only going in about a half an inch anyway. Okay, now you got that fully pushed in. Now it's time to take this off there and slide this right on there. This should be the really fun part. Alright, now take the upper sliding bolt and take it off. Okay, after you take that one out and lubricate it and put it back on, this part will just slide. It goes in and out, so it'll slide right back on. The caliper, pivot the caliper back into position over the brake pads. Be careful not to damage the upper slide pin boot, and then install the lower mounting. Okay, so get that bad boy on there. Tighten it up to the torque recommendations. Torque it up. Alright, that ain't going nowhere. Get the torque wrench, put it on there, torque it up. And then you're going to put the brake fluid back in the reservoir in the front. I'm going to leave it out because I'm going to go do the other brake pad on the other side. So that's that on this side. Okay, same thing with the other side. I got the sockets holding up the caliper. So do that. Ooh, the focus is messing up. Wow, look how the focus makes it all dark with the hand. Take the hand away. Darkness, light. The darkness, the light. Wow, I kind of messed my camera up. But anyway, do the same thing as you did on the other side. And then after you're done, you're going to want to pump the brakes. Make sure you fill the fluid reservoir back up with the same amount you took out. I got it in this bottle right there. So put the same amount back in, and then pump your brakes a couple times, and then take slow test drives. Yeah, make sure you spray this good. Yeah, as you're taking it off, because you'll have some crap blow up in the air. Yeah, you'll have some crap that's go everywhere, particulates. Alright, so put this on the old pad because you're going to be throwing it away. There you go. Alright, that's how that came off. So this is a flat metal part. It's got this built in, and then you got your pad. Look how thin, oh, hold on. You got the metal that's built in, and then you got the pad. Look how thin that pad is. And then remember how your retaining clips are on here, and then there's this thing in the back just like the other side, pull it out. There we go. Pull that out, don't forget it. Set this aside. Remember how it went? It went on like that. So set that aside, and then get the other one off. You don't want to vibrate too much. See, that one's being a pain in the butt. So when it's a pain in the butt, give it a good spray. You know what I'm saying? Give it a good spray. They love being sprayed, these brake pads. Jeez. Okay, keeping an eye on symmetry. This part that sticks out on the back, on the inner pad, was at the bottom part. It was on right here on this side. On the other side, it was on the bottom part, but it was on the bottom left. This time it's on the bottom right. So just watch out for mirrorical symmetry. Okay, here's the old retainer, the old shim. So get it off, remember how it went, and then set them down so you know how they'll go. So here's the old, and there's the new. There's the old, there's the new. Do the same thing with the pads. Here's the pads. There's the old pads. Look at the difference in the brakes. Check this out. So you can definitely see a difference in the pad wear. Look at that. So, alright, let's get. Okay, same thing. So put the shiny new ones on here. Snap them on. Make sure they go all the way on. They're nice. They're on there good. Spray this crap. Get that clean. And don't forget to get your wire brush to the old part right here. So get those clean. And use a soft cloth. So there we go. That's all the way on there now. There, now it's really on there. Alright, so that's on there. Get the other one on there. Alright. Okay, the new inner and outer pads are on there. They're nice and tight. They're not going anywhere. The shims are on there good. Now I need to depress that piston. But first, before I do that, I want to take this out and lubricate it. So take out this and use some high temperature. I'm gonna use this stuff, but high temperature grease. All right, and put that back. Okay, once you fill up the brake reservoir to its full line, make sure it doesn't go below the minimum line. That'll be a big problem. So once you fill that up, get in your vehicle, make sure it's all your blocks are out. You got all your blocks out, your tires are good, and you're going to want to have an assistant watch the brake fluid. Press the brake pedal a little bit. Press it 2/3 of the way down. So depress it 2/3 of the way down, slowly, a couple times, until the brake gets firm. Once it gets firm, that means the pad has seated correctly. The pads have seated correctly. And then now it's time for a test drive. So take your Chevy Equinox for a test drive, and you're going to want to do like 30 stops. No, not 30. You go like just around 30 miles per hour, and as you stop, and then give it some time to cool off, and then drive down there. As you're driving, it's cooling off. Stop again. So do that in about 30. In about says about 20 stops should be sufficient to break in the new pads. Confirm that the brakes are fully operational before resuming normal driving. And this has been a MattHumanPizza. This has been a MattHumanPizza production. Thank you. Thanks for watching another Matt Human Pizza video. Thank you.